Well, let's now shift our focus over to the IPL, where Kolkata have played a brilliant match to defeat Punjab by 1 wicket in the very last over of the match. A pretty exciting one lined up out there at the Eden Gardens. Punjab put up a competitive score of 183 runs for the loss of 5 wickets. Punjab started well with openers Vijay and Manan Vora putting on 45 runs in 5.5 overs. Saha and Maxwell then carried the good work forward as the two built another solid partnership. For once, Maxwell managed to come to the party, scoring 43 runs of 22 deliveries. Miller then provided the final touches as he hit 2 fours and 2 sixes to take Punjab to 183 runs. For Kolkata, Sunil Narine was the pick of the bowlers, taking 4 wickets for 19 runs. Kolkata had the worst start to the chase, losing wickets at regular intervals. Openers Robin Uthappa, Gautam Gambhir, Manish Pandey and then Surya Kumar Yadav were out with just 100 runs. With 100 runs still required for the team for victory. Yusuf Pathan too played some useful shots before he was out. And in the end, it came down to Andre Russell and he turned the match on its head. He hit a half century of 19 deliveries to take Kolkata home. So, well, let's now take a look at who our player of the day was. And it was the brilliant bowling performance by Sunil Narine. 4 overs, 19 runs, 4 wickets, and he's our player of the day. And no doubts for guessing who bowled the over of the day as well. It was the Kolkata Magic spinner Sunil Narine. Great performance there out by him in the 17th over. He picked up 2 wickets and gave away just 8 runs. And let's now take a look at what the points table looks like after this performance. Kolkata obviously strengthening their position of making it to the playoffs. They are the top of the table, in fact, with 15 points. Punjab right at the bottom with no chances of making it to the playoffs, just 4 points from their 11 matches. Well, Nikhil, great performance, great match. Let's just say a very tight one, what we want to see in T20 cricket. But the man who completely turned it around for Kolkata was Andre Russell out there.
Well, incredible. You know, he was a little expensive with the ball in his 4 overs, but Radhika, the way he batted, special, absolutely special. That power, that muscle, you know, the way he was hitting sixes, brought them back into the game. Had he not got caught behind, this game would have not gone to the last over, the way he was batting, and as well as, you know, the very good innings by Yusuf Pathan as well. Yeah. 29 of 19. That little partnership just set the Kings 11 back. On that track, you know, with the spinners not firing for the Kings 11, it's going to hurt. You got predominantly a medium pace attack. If you don't have quality spinners, playing in the Eden Gardens will always hurt you. You know, we've seen the KKR play 4 spinners because they know how the track behaves. But at the end of the day, I thought 180 could have been defended. Special innings by Yusuf Pathan as well as Andre Russell. You know, Dada, you've been saying for a long time that the West Indians love playing T20 cricket. Andre Russell has proved it time and again. The way the chase started, it looked difficult for Kolkata, but he completely changed the complexion of the match with his 19 delivery 50. Brilliant play by him today.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's done that a few times for the Knight Riders in the last 2 seasons, and I think he's a very important player for them in the middle order. He was basically a fast bowler, came into Test cricket, but then his batting has taken over, and just like all the other West Indians, just like Bravo, just like Samuels, just like Gale, he's got enormous power. You see some of the miss-hits actually clear. So he's been a massive addition to the side, and I think you got to blame the Kings 11 Punjab. When you keep losing in cricket, you lose from any position, and it's a game they should have won, and it's a game which they have lost. You look at from the overseas fast bowler, when he came in and he bowled those 2 deliveries to Piyush Chawla, which went for 8 runs. You know, they were very, very poor deliveries, and when you play at this level, when you have to seal games off, you cannot just bowl those deliveries. He had the 3rd man up, and he bowled a short bouncer outside the off stump, and he just had to put bat to ball. So from that point of view, as I said, when you keep losing from any situation. And I think the Kings 11 will, once they go to the hotel, they will know that they've given a game away which they should have won.
You know, Boria, Kolkata in fact did make it really difficult towards the end, because Russell had, like Nikhil mentioned, had he stayed on, they would have probably finished the match a few overs earlier. But once his wicket, once Kolkata lost Andre Russell, it became difficult, and there was that moment that Punjab could have actually pulled it back.
Yes, I mean, it was both teams were trying to lose. I mean, Saurav put it beautifully. Kings 11 gave it away. And Kolkata was almost giving it away in that last over. You know, wickets falling, and then that 6 happened, and then another wicket. I mean, 9 wickets down. It was a close encounter, but perhaps nerves had taken over, Radhika. But I agree, entirely agree with Saurav. It was Kings 11's match to win, and they lost it.
Dada, obviously, Nikhil also mentioned there had to be some sort of support for Andre Russell out there, and that was provided by Yusuf Pathan today. He's probably not been in the best of forms during the IPL, but when it has mattered, he's provided that support and helped Kolkata cross the line.
Yeah, he has. He has actually played important knocks for Kolkata in the last 2 years, especially under pressure situation. What's good to see with Yusuf Pathan in the last 2 years is that he doesn't hit every delivery. In the past, when you felt that he had exceptional talent to clear cricket grounds in the world, you just felt his pace of the game was not right. He just kept hitting at every delivery. And now he's learned, he realizes that it's not just about the ability to hit, but it's also about picking the right delivery to hit. And from that point of view, I thought he matured. And when you have somebody like Andre Russell at the other end who's just playing superbly like the way he did, what you just need to do is put him on strike. Make sure you don't lose wickets and don't put the pressure back on Andre Russell. You have to let him think freely, and the only way you can let him think freely is by making sure wickets don't fall. He did a similar thing a few games ago when Andre Russell just smashed the opposition out of the game here at Eden Gardens only, when he played a second fiddle of 25 deliveries for 25 runs. That's not the Yusuf Pathan game, but that's the maturity which he has developed this season, and it's great to see. And that's why, in spite of being under pressure at the top, they've been managed to seal games with the lower order. Either it's Surya Kumar Yadav or it's Andre Russell, who's been the kingpin in this IPL, or it's Yusuf Pathan. It has devolved around these three players. Surya Kumar Yadav started the season well but has died down, but it has been taken over by Yusuf Pathan and Andre Russell. So they are winning. There'll be more than the runs of Andre Russell. They'll be happy to see Sunil Narine back in good form. The opposition got 183 and he bowled 4 overs for 19 runs. So the remaining 164 runs came in 16 overs from the other end. So from that point of view, I think Knight Riders will be very, very happy, because you look at those 2 seasons when Knight Rider won the IPL, who was their main man? It was Sunil Narine.
Since we've spoken so much about Andre Russell, Nikhil, let's take a look at where all he really did score his runs, and you can help us out there better. Akshar Patel obviously would be scratching his head considering the sixes that Andre Russell hit. He hit all over the park, and there were massive sixes out there.
Yeah, but he was feeding him in his zone. Every player, every batsman mostly have got their own zones. If you keep feeding them, you don't do your homework, you're going to pay the penalty. Take a look at that. The 24 of towards long on and deep mid wicket. That's why he muscles the ball over. Each time he's looking to hit a 6, or just in his arc. It's towards mid-wicket as well as long on. He uses the long handle with great amount of ease. It's all about time, muscle as well as timing. It looks very easy, Radhika, when you see the ball hitting the top tier, but believe you me, to hit a 6 into even the first floor of any stand, it is not an easy task. This is sure timing and pure ability. This is great entertainment in terms of the spectators. When Andre Russell, Yusuf Pathan, some of the big boys go out there and hit big sixes, it is fantastic entertainment, and that's all IPL about. That's what IPL is about. Obviously, great entertainment by Andre Russell out there, but we've got another match, and that is going to start very soon. It is Delhi who take on Hyderabad at Raipur. That match, obviously, both teams fighting for a place in the playoff, both of them desperate for wins out there. Probably Hyderabad in a little better position. Delhi sort of need to win today if they want to keep their hopes alive of making it to the playoffs. Nikhil, a great encounter lined up there. Both teams, when you look at them, Hyderabad seem to have gotten their momentum. Delhi seem to have sort of lost it. Who do you favour out here? I mean, both teams are in the middle of the table. Both of them can make it. Who holds the upper edge out here? Well, Delhi's got some firepower, but some bizarre decisions have been taken this season which, just baffles you. What's happening? When you've got people like JP Dumini, Yuvraj Singh and Angelo Matthews, it's simple. Logic 3, 4 and 5, you don't mess around with that, you don't need to. And when you've got something like an Albie Mockle playing, he's batting number 8. The first game that he played, he very nearly won them the game batting up the order against KKR at home. When the opposition's playing your 4 spinners, you needed to get the most of the runs against the new ball. And you didn't get enough runs against the new ball with all that batting that you've got. It literally went to waste. So, they have a good side, but some of the decisions just tend to baffle you. But on the other hand, I'm completely with you. Hyderabad has got some sort of momentum.
Hyderabad have got some sort of momentum out there, Dada. And what they have decided, instead of playing either Bolt or Stain, let's leave them both on the bench and let's go with a batsman instead. That strategy, you feel that is probably going to work for Hyderabad?
Well, it has worked so far, because if you look at the start of the season, they've been losing games with the bat. The middle order didn't do well at all. You've heard Tom Modi saying that the middle order needs to get runs because they were too much dependent on David Warner at the top. It was Warner scoring and Hyderabad winning. Even in the last game in Mumbai against the Rajasthan Royals, it was David Warner who smashed them. You know, the likes of Pragyan Ocha and some of the middle order batsmen haven't fired for them. So I think that's the reason they're strengthening their batting, which I think is a good way to go as long as it works for them, and it has worked for them in the last 2 games. This is an important game for them because if they win, they will jump into the last 4 again, and it will once again open up the competition, because there's still 3 or 4 games left for everyone, and anybody could make it to the last 4, especially with Chennai losing yesterday, and especially with Rajasthan Royals losing probably 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 5 of their last games. So in last 5 games, so it has actually opened the group up. On the other hand, for Delhi Daredevils, I think, as Nikhil said, they've got some quality players, but they have to plan the way they play T20 cricket. The other day at Kolkata, they were chasing 171, and at the top of the order, they just got 36 runs in 6 overs. You know, Manoj Tiwari, 28 of 28 deliveries at the top of the order, where he should actually be playing a lot more positively, especially when you have the likes of Dumini and Yuvraj and Angelo Matthews and Albie Morkel to come down. Albie Morkel is a must in the Delhi side, with Zahir Khan coming back into form, Zahir Khan bowling well and sending a strong message to selectors with the T20 World Cup coming in next year. I think if he bowls 4 overs and he bowls 4 overs well, he will be in contention in front of the selectors for T20 cricket. So with Dumini, Yuvraj and Albie Morkel and Angelo Matthews, they have a very good batting order. I think they just have to plan the way they want to play. And if I was in the Delhi Daredevils dressing room, changing room, and probably I'm just taking a bit more of your time, I would have had clear-cut roles to be played. JP Dumini, who's a good player, but he's not a match winner. He will not win you games. He will not get you a 17-ball 50 and win you games. So if I was in the Delhi Daredevils dressing room, I would have asked Yuvraj Singh to bat 20 overs and see how he gets. Because at this age, you need to get a bit set. You cannot just come and hit through the line because you're not getting younger. You play 10, 12 deliveries, and once Yuvraj Singh plays 10, 12 deliveries, he will get consistent runs for you. And you need JP Dumini and Albie Morkel to play positively from the word go to balance that initial.
Obviously a very crucial match, Dada, out there for both teams, and Delhi obviously will be hoping that Yuvraj Singh fires and plays those 20 overs like you mentioned. Thank you so much, Dada and Boria, for joining us from Kolkata, and thank you so much, Nikhil.